Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we're getting into another product review. Now I actually had this type of product for a long time, and I'm going to put a link in the description on Amazon for similar products because I don't see this exact same one or this exact same brand online. But then again, I may have bought this one in a store. This brand is Utopia Care. Now what this is a blackhead remover, but it really honestly works for a lot of just facial cleaning in general. And obviously you guys know on the channel, we talk about, your grooming care, accessories, things of those sorts to better yourself in many different ways, whether it's how you take care of yourself, whether it's how you accessorize and how you present yourself and whatnot. And I thought this was actually an important product to review on the channel because there's a lot of men out there, a lot of women as well, so they can kind of take heed to this as well. But a lot of men out there who really suffer greatly from having clogged pores on the face, blackheads, whiteheads, all these kind of different things. And the reason why this is very much important for men, because I know a lot of women often are very much in that area of, skincare and taking care of themselves. That's kind of something that women are usually way more familiar with. And for men, a lot of us are not as familiar with that. We get up, we go to work, we jump in the shower, we do the basics, but we don't do those extra little things that helps make us stand out, that help, kind of just increase our appearance, make us look a little bit more better than, like, say, the next person next to us, or just a sense of a higher level of taking care of yourself, especially when you get to a certain age. When you are, say, 20 years old, 25 years old, that's fine. Maybe you do the basics. You put on your deodorant. Maybe you're a cologne guy, maybe you're not. You dress a certain way, whatever the case is, it's fine. But once you start getting to 30, 35 and up, you really have to step up your level, step up your game in terms of how much you take care of yourself. You have to have that look where you're a lot more just, I don't want to use the word professional, but it just shows that you are a higher maturity level of taking care of yourself. I think that's the better word to use. And so where obviously the little details matter. So in this specific situation here, I definitely recommend this. Now, the way it works is like this. You can either use this end or you can use this end. They essentially do the same thing. And what will happen is if you have, like, say, like this is like your face, and you put, like, you have a little, whether it's a kind of inflated pore. This works for if you have a pore that's bumpy. If you have a pimple, this works for if you have those kind of, and I don't know if this counts as a pimple, but where your skin is elevated, but it doesn't have like a little white tip at the end like typical pimples. It's just an elevated piece of skin, and underneath it there's something underneath it. This will work for that as well, but also including whiteheads, blackheads, and this and that. If it's like a pimple or just an elevated piece of your skin on your face, and you put the circle around it, you press down real hard, what happens is that either pimple, or if it's just elevated skin, you'll find that the pore will open up regardless and bust out whatever's in it. It will come out, you wipe it off with a tissue, and that will immediately flatten the elevated skin or destroy the pimple. It's not harmful to the skin. Just try not to be, too overly rough with it when you're doing these things. But for the most part, you apply pressure downwards. When the thing pops, then you can just kind of move this sideways, and it'll kind of pick it up and, like, take it off. It's like scrapes it right off. You don't have to scrape hard at that point because it already came out. When you use it for blackheads or whiteheads, essentially what you do is the same thing. You press down, but what happens when you press down, you get all that coming out. You're going to scrape sideways. It's going to start to build up on the sides, the inner sides of the tool. And then from there, you would just take a tissue, piece of toilet tissue if you're in the bathroom, and just, like, wipe it right out. But you can do this over the course of a couple of minutes and really clean a lot off of your face. I think sometimes too, you get a lot of that build up because if you put lotion and things like that sort on your face, a lot of times that stuff kind of cakes up, and you start cleaning that off because once that dries or gets a little crusty, you're able to clean that off. So this really helps clean all that off. It does a better job than just you simply washing your face. Washing your face is good, but sometimes those whiteheads are solid. You can't just wash them off. They're if you had a microscope, you would see that they're literally it's almost like putting cement in a hole, and you fill it up to the point where it overflows out of the hole. And that's essentially like what it's like, meaning you can't just wash it off, scrape it off with like a washcloth trying to scrub it off. It's not going to come off. So this helps with that. And a lot of people don't know ways of getting that kind of stuff off. You can do the whole sticky nose pad thing that you peel off, those kind of sticky pads that go over your nose. And those things are probably a thing, but this is something where at a spur of the moment, you don't have to sit, you don't have to wait, you just go at it at the mirror, and it's very helpful. So I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna put in the link in the description 2 different tools that I've seen on Amazon that are pretty affordable. One is a full package kit of different things, and the other one is just 2 of these that come inside the set. So you can pick and choose the one that suits you best. Some of the tools in the pack might be overkill where you may not use them, but nonetheless, definitely recommend every man to have one of these. I think it's very important, especially like I said, when you get to the age where these things matter and you got blackheads all over your nose, because that's really the spot that build up most. But if you're one of those people who have like a bit of acne, and I'm not saying if you've got really bad acne, obviously you got to go to a doctor, whatever the case is. But if you got a little pimple here and there, this will help you with it. Like I said, you're able to bust it. After that, the skin is flattened. That area, the thing about pores that are very interesting too is that pores are very, I know I'm going to go on a little bit of rant right now. Pores are interesting in that they really are, it's almost like your skin is the equivalent of a screen kind of net on your face. Some people have larger pores than others, but you see them, these little pits all over, like especially near your nose area, like on the side of your nose area, the part of your cheek that's like right underneath your eyes and on the side of your nose. And I say it's almost like a net in that, like a screen in that the holes, you may not realize how easily they just open up, but they open up so easy. And that's why a lot of things get inside there so easily. I actually had one time, this is going to probably be a little bit gross, saying the story, but I don't mind saying it because it was a learning lesson that can happen to anybody. So one day after waking up, I was rubbing my eye. You know how you get a little bit of crust inside your eye from sleeping. And so I woke up, was rubbing my eye with the back of my thumb like this, because sometimes, you don't want to touch your eyes with your fingers. So you just kind of use the back of your thumb. At least that's my usual instinct. So I was rubbing my eye, and funny enough, I don't know if my pores just happened to be really open because I was sleeping and it was really hot, really warm. But as I rubbed, a piece of crust in my eye, I felt it go right into the pore, right in that space, like I said, on the side of the nose and below the eye, and it went right into my skin. And it felt so weird because I'm like, how did it just, me rubbing that off my face, go right into my skin? It literally, I guess, a piece of the tip pierced the pore and lined up specifically perfect to go right inside. And at that point, me pushing down to wipe it away, pushed it right into the pore. And then now my skin was swollen up a little bit in that area. Funny enough. And then I went to my bathroom. I used this tool like I did, applied it around it, right around the bump area, pressed it down. The crust and extra pus and everything came out. A little bit of blood came out too. Nothing major, because your pores are made to kind of bleed a little bit when you open them up. That's just how they are. It doesn't mean like you have an open wound. Pores are made to open and close very easily. But my point to say that was that this tool came in a pinch to get it out. Without having this, that wouldn't even be an option to get it out. You'd be scratching your skin. You'd be doing all these things like that. This doesn't destroy the skin, because when you press down, all it does is allow the pressure of you pressing down on the skin to push the pore will just burst outwards. So everything flows out of the actual hole of your pores and not you ripping your skin. And like I said, once things are being pushed out of the pores, your pores just naturally open up to accommodate whatever's being pushed out of it, because that's just how they're designed. So once again, I recommend this. Sorry for the disgusting story. I recommend this wholeheartedly. I'm going to put links in the description. Definitely have one of these inside your arsenal. I think that they're just as important as your toothbrush, as your hairbrush, and all the rest of the things that you keep along with you, including tweezers. I recommend you guys have tweezers on hand at all times as well. Matter of fact, I happen to have these on hand as well. I am going to say that you can get these at any of your local CVS or anything like that. I'm going to put a link in the description for some tweezers as well. Always have a pair of tweezers as well. They actually go pretty hand in hand with certain tools like this in terms of you doing facial grooming and things of that sort. Especially like ingrown hairs or anything of that sort, that works. So As always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.